Alignment. An essay by James Mahu. Question: what are the practical reasons to believe all of this infinite reality stuff? You write that it is all a choice based on our beliefs, and these beliefs become our local universe. Maybe you could explain more what a local universe is, and then what are the reasons to go through the effort of remodeling our belief system? Answer: your question is answered with one word: alignment. Alignment is another word for harmony, balance, ease, flow, or synchronicity. Alignment is only possible when it concerns our infinite self or sovereign integral consciousness. You cannot really have any other alignment, you can only have resonance. You can resonate with a particular belief, action, or aesthetic, but alignment is reserved for our infinite self and the revelation of its presence through our imagination, thought, feeling, and behavior. In other words, alignment, in its true meaning, represents the finite becoming aware that it is also infinite, and choosing to align to our infinite self. That is to say, the finite lives in partnership with the infinite. Alignment is not surrender or allowing a higher force to take over one's life, rather, it is recognition that there is a core to our identity where the finite and infinite live harmoniously. Alignment is very practical. Not because it is coherent within all dimensions and therefore less stressful, but because it is the way we experience our local universe as a conscious dream in which everyone and everything within our local universe is an interface between the finite and infinite. If we experience this consciously, or even semi-consciously, we can anchor the feeling of being both finite and infinite simultaneously. We are a finite temporal being in a human reality, and an infinite being in an infinite reality, interconnected to one and all. So, what does this mean? If alignment between the finite and infinite states of our total selfhood is the key to virtually everything, then it is simply our will to secure this alignment in our local universe that is important. It is not the artifice of religion or philosophy. Our choice and our will is what is important. Thus, the important thing is not so much about alignment, but how to secure it. By what knowledge or metaphysical process do we achieve this alignment between the finite self and the infinite self? And your question demonstrates that you are interested in understanding the practical reasons so that you are properly motivated to achieve this alignment. Let's take the first part of this equation: how do we secure this alignment? It is achingly simple. We ask our infinite self to enter our human reality, our local universe. To make ourselves, as a unified consciousness, known and appreciated. And this knowing derives from the observation that our behaviors are gradually shape-shifting into the behaviors of unconditional love and kindness. Is there anything in that process that is at odds with the teachings of our messiahs and avatars? It is simply different words, unencumbered with the religious and philosophical vocabulary of our past 10,000 years. That is all. This is not new. This truth has worn different clothes, and it has been possessed by tens of thousands of variant religions and philosophies. Yet, at its very core, it is this and nothing else. Every embellishment made to this core truth is, in effect, superfluous and unnecessary. Again, I want to emphasize that it is simple. What is not simple is arriving at the point within our local universe where we extend this invitation with a resolute belief accompanying it. This is the inception point where we become a unified consciousness, where we perceive our local universe as our canvas to paint upon, where we see the intricacies of life as a unified flow of our senses in service to the one and all. This is not surrender. It is intelligent alignment through individual choice. It is the only way to find this unification and sustain it in our lives. It doesn't matter if we can sustain it in our thoughts or imagination, it must find its way through our hearts and into our behaviors. It is the virtuous heart that informs the behavior, and if this is done, then the behavior is blessed. It serves the highest purpose. And this is where intelligence comes in, because intelligence always serves the highest purpose that it can conceive. When we operate as a unified consciousness where the finite and infinite are two halves of the same object, then we have an intelligence that can grasp the infinite, and therefore it can realize a higher purpose. If we do not understand the true role of the infinite, then our comprehension of the highest purpose is encumbered with religious and philosophical embellishments, many of which deny the very idea of the infinite, as if it is too hard for our small, distracted brains to understand. The key element is that our intelligence is flowing through the heart into behavior. That we see this construct as the creation of our local universe, not the abundance of glamorous materials and ease of life. Our life could be tragic or difficult or challenging or stressful, but if we find this alignment and practice its flow through the heart and into our behaviors, we are creating our local universe to be more of love and kindness. And this is always without end the highest purpose. If the practical payoff or reason to make this invitation to our infinite self is to make a life of ease, then we have misunderstood the motivation. The motivation is always to serve the one and all. This is the only action we can make. And when we see our actions seemingly deviate from that perspective, we understand that perfection is not part of our world. There is no perfection in the infinite. There is only variation, improvisation, wonderment, needfulness, and surprise. There quietly develops a sense of inner peace and knowing. A sense that this intelligence is forming its alliance with others of similar nature. And this alliance is not formed through organizations, social media, newsletters, and even words or images. It is formed through this individual commitment to become unified and integral. To serve the one and all in order to transmit behaviors that are of unconditional love and kindness. This is the highest knowledge and highest purpose. Can you name a higher one without resorting to religious or philosophical terminology? This is what we want to align to. If it is to this core that we align to, then all of the other stuff will work itself out. The pain we feel from our past, the fear we have of our future, the sorrow we feel from life, all of these elements will diminish within this commitment. Not overnight, but over time. This is not to say that life will suddenly become a succession of ease and harmony, rather, it is to suggest that alignment will carry us through every adversity we encounter with a greater sense of empowerment and understanding. These are the two practical reasons to form alignment between the finite and infinite, because within this alignment comes a sense of empowerment and understanding. Notice that we said nothing about health, glamour, and wealth. They are not excluded, but they are not among the practical reasons. Our sense of empowerment and understanding are the practical reasons, because it is through these that we can bring what is in our imagination and thoughts through our heart and into our behaviors. We can see our behavior is shifting towards unconditional love and kindness within our local universe. I understand that there will be some of us who look upon this process as a weakness or perhaps it is impractical, because it is not reinforcing the reality of this world, which only cares about fame, influence, glamour, wealth, and health. Those things are the billboards of the finite self. They are everywhere in our local universe. The infinite has been covered up by the finite, and not by a mask, but a graveyard. The infinite, and its true meaning, has been buried. We, collectively, all humanity, have held the shovels and hoisted the dirt over the body of the infinite self. Our dirt is of words, meanings, feelings, antiquated beliefs, and a million other things. This was not intentional, it was the consequential effect of ignorance. Of not knowing what the infinite self was, is, and will be. And so, now we arrive at that point where we can see that the highest purpose is to exhume the infinite self, the sovereign integral, and to do this one individual at a time, knowing it is the way it can be done. knowing it is what we are here to do, and understanding that we are empowered to do it.